It is 10 years since the Rotherham scandal planted the evasive phrase grooming gangs in the language. The scandal in Rotherham wasn't just the serial gang rape of children, but the utter indifference to it and indeed enabling of it by police, politicians and social workers. But a decade on, and here we are in the umpteenth English town, which is it, Telford? No. Rochdale? No. Oxford? No. Oldham. Oldham. As in the splendid English music hall joke, what's the best way to Oldham? And so all pretending to be shocked that all the same things that went on in Rotherham were going on in Oldham, only more so. As I mentioned yesterday, the very leader of the grooming gang, a chap called Shabir Ahmed, well, there he is, lovely fellow, was working for the council for years on end as a, quote, welfare rights officer, even though his extracurricular activities were well known to police. He ran his grooming gang out of the welfare office, because that's very convenient. Raped over 30 girls. It gets worse. How about this line from the official report? Sophie was abducted from Oldham police station. Whoa, hold up there. Sophie was abducted from Oldham police station? How does that happen? Well, it did. Sophie was 12 years old. She went to Oldham police station to report that she had been sexually assaulted by, quote, an Asian male known only as Ali in the graveyard of Oldham Parish Church. Because in Oldham and many other English towns, that seems to be the main purpose of the Church of England these days, at least as far as their churchyards are concerned. The desk officer wasn't interested in Sophie. He told her to come back when she wasn't drunk. Oh, by the way, is that guy still working for Greater Manchester Police? It gets better. After she'd been sloughed off by the desk cop, Sophie stood in the police station and two men beckoned her over and asked if she'd like to get in their car. The American bank robber Willie Sutton, asked why he robbed banks, famously replied, because that's where the money is. Why do Oldham's child rapists work for Oldham Social Services and hang out in the Oldham police station? Because that's where the vulnerable girls are. And the gang-raping pedos are so secure, they know you can pick girls up in the cop shop and the coppers won't do anything. So Sophie and the guys exited Oldham police station and in the car, one of them raped her. They dropped her at Werneth Park and she asked a man for directions, Sarwar Ali by name. Mr. Ali took her home and raped her again, third time that day. For 12-year-old Sophie, but the day is young and just getting started. Mr. Ali was considerate enough, when his appetites were sated, to give her the bus fare. She left the house, and another man, Shakil Chowdhury, there he is, Shakil Chowdhury, posing as a cab driver, got her in the car and drove her to a house in Attock Close, where four other blokes were waiting, and they raped her all through the night for a 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th time, until they'd all satisfied themselves, and then one of them very kindly dropped her off at home on the way back to his pad. She was raped continuously by 7 men. All because the desk officer at Oldham police station told a 12-year-old rape victim she was drunk and to go away. Do these guys' names suggest any particular pattern? The first bloke in the park was called Ali, A-L-I. The fellow in the first house was Sarwar Ali. In the second house, it was Shakil Chowdhury. So these names are all, oh, no, don't you even think it. Don't even think it. As all the reports say, and as the media say, these are, quote-unquote, Asian men. Could be Hong Kongers who fled to Oldham and Rotherham and Rochdale and Telford and your town here. Could be Japanese sumo wrestlers parachuted in during the war. Chinese virologists from Wuhan dropping off the next variant. Washed up K-pop bands from Korea. Misplaced Gurkha regiments from Nepal. Abandoned mail order brides from Thailand because they turned out to be fetching young ladyboys. Asia is the world's largest and most populous continent. It starts at the Urals River. Before the 19th century, Asia was generally taken to start at the Don River, which is even further west. That's the Don River in Russia, not the one in Rotherham. Although from the media's framing it might as well be. Asia is home to over 60% of the world's population. So the term Asian men is marginally more helpful than saying we believe the majority of these gang rapists are earthlings. And what the term Asian men tells the groomers in Oldham and everywhere else is that the media have no stomach for the hard, cruel realities any more than social services or the police did, which is how it happens that a young girl can seek sanctuary in the one place in town she ought to be safe, the police station, and instead meet only her next predators. And it's because of the way we cover this that the story doesn't go away. Rotherham arose because the people who run that town didn't want to get into the idea that Muslim men, Pakistani Muslim men, are running these gangs. So the coverage has always been dishonest. Oh, Asian men, Asian men. No, it's a little bit more specific than that. And if we're not prepared to address it honestly, then the girls are going to carry on getting raped and raped and raped and raped. If they're lucky, it won't be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times in a single day like it was for poor Sophie, but they're still going to get raped. Let me know your take. GBViews at gbnews.uk.